It's Thursday night, and you
No,
know
the
that...
other one.
Oh.
Will you look back when you're old and grey and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means.
And I'm looking forward to this week's show. But first, we've actually got some news this week. Well, in the last couple of days, we've got. Have you heard any of this? This is going to be new to you. Well, first one, we can review. We've got the Alton Towers event, Smiler Takeover.
Yes.
But I think it's because it's the 10th year. Because at first I thought that's a weird thing to do.
It's right about May. Was it May when it opened?
No, funnily enough, by the time that's over, it won't have reached the 10th anniversary when it opened because May 31st is when it opened. But we'll overlook that. And then I quickly just want to mention, have you heard about Thorpe Park's new rethink for the Ghost Train?
Yes.
Would you think much about it?
I don't know all the details. I just saw the front cover of it.
What I want to say, I've linked everyone's channel who's coming up on the show in the description, but I've also want to say, if you want to know about the Ghost Train, Theme Park Insanity's got 2 videos, and I believe iCoaster's got 1 already up. So go and check those out because they tell you a lot more info than I can tell you. But let's bring everyone on. Did you want to introduce them?
We have Ryan from iCoaster.
You know, Ryan?
Hello!
I'll let you introduce the next one.
Oh, and next, all the way from Stoke, it is James and Sarah.
Points.
And then next we've got today a very special guest as well, the mini guest.
It's not special.
Well, very mini special guest, Nathaniel and Ben from Ben and Hollie's Theme Park Adventures.
That way.
No Holly.
No
Holly. The last one.
And then the last one is Joe from Theme Park in Sandwich.
Hey
guys. All right.
Hey.
How's everyone doing? I'll get the overlay.
Joe.
How's everyone doing?
Good. You're good, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. So I want to talk mainly about our trip that we did on Sunday to Yorkshire Wildlife Park. But first, I only managed to get a couple of photos in the end. But I thought I'd start with Ben. I think he knows what this is going to be. Do you want to explain what happened on this part of your vlog?
Oh, man. It's probably best Nathaniel explains, mate. You like that bit, didn't you?
Well, there was a big hairy monkey with long hair, and there was a lady monkey sitting on the hill eating some grass.
Just be careful how you describe it.
And then the other monkey came over. And, yeah.
He did his thing, didn't he, mate? Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, while we're here, Ryan's showing off his Zoom.
Also describing what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's got that especially for the show.
So I've got to realign it again. Wait.
So, how many have you been before?
No.
Yeah, I've been before.
Got there.
So,
yeah,
when's the last time you went, Ben?
I think it was 2019. So it was pre-pandemic, mate.
So
it was a lot smaller.
A lot smaller?
Yeah.
Just everything before the bridge?
Yeah, so where we went in, the actual new entrance, that just didn't exist. So the sea lion pools, all of that part of that didn't exist.
Where was the old entrance? Was it?
So where the meerkats were, you know where the meerkats were, and the lion.
Oh, near the where we had lunch and stuff.
Yeah, so that was the old entrance, yeah, and used to enter through a gift shop as well. So the car park was around that side, and you had to come through the gift shop before you actually got to the actual turnstiles, which I thought was a bit strange.
It's where the penny mangles were.
That's
how I remember it.
Did you want to?
Where the meerkats were, where the penny mangles were.
Did you want to describe the hive?
The hive.
Yeah.
So the hive is basically like a sort of a hub. Basically, things are like shaped hexagonal. If you look from like a bird's eye view, but each like hub in a way, or honeycomb, in the shape of like a beehive. Each had like little shops. So they had craft shops, they had coffee shops, they had children's clothing shops, they had like all sorts like plants. You could even I mean I was really happy the fact that you could buy a bonsai tree from there, but that's just me.
You didn't buy one.
No, but I was like, oh my gosh, you could get a bonsai tree from here. So yeah.
If I'm
You had
still-
clothes shops, didn't they, as well?
Yeah, like woodwork stuff as well.
Yeah. So they had like people that did like artists and sculptures and photography as well, and that was quite cool.
But I think the best thing I can do here is just go through our day as we went through it. But even though it was at the end, I'll ask Joe, because Joe actually went into it was like a themed restaurant, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So we didn't actually eat there. We ended up eating somewhere else, but I was able to actually go in with permission and take some pictures and things. It's called the Evolution Experience Restaurant. It looks really cool. Doesn't really give much away on the outside, but when you go in, it's completely themed. It's fully immersive, and basically it takes you back to the age of the dinosaurs. So there's like rock work sort of walls and themed sort of elements and ships and Easter Island heads and all sorts of stuff. The detail is incredible. It looks so good. It really does. And it does kind of grills and burgers and all that sort of thing. So I'll be trying that out next time we go. For definite, it looks so good.
Was it like a rainforest cafe sort of setup?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah, very similar, but more kind of sort of very Flintstones-ish kind of way, but sort of more realistic, if that makes sense. That's the only way I can kind of. Obviously, there is pictures on TPI if anyone wants to have a closer look. But yeah, it was very interesting, and it didn't look too badly priced either.
If anybody's been to Florida and they've been to T-Rex Cafe, which is kind of a twin of Rainforest Cafe. It's a dinosaur-themed Rainforest Cafe. It looked
Probably
very
quite
similar to that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Did they have a stage at all? Because I was assuming there'd be a stage in there. Like, I can't remember what it was called now, but the way they called the restaurant.
Evolution Experience.
Yeah.
No, there was no stage in there, unfortunately. But I do believe that I've been told by several sources they are building an indoor entertainment venue as well, which is what that big building was, all the steel framework that was going up. That's apparently going to be an indoor entertainment venue when it's finished. But they've got that outdoor stage as well. So there's obviously plans for entertainment both indoor and outdoor moving forwards, which is nice, really nice.
I think they've got Ollie Murs scheduled to play there, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was about to say.
Go back
I mean, you look on the website and it's like
Where-
plenty of entertainment.
Where's that situated?
I think where that whose poo is it thing? Is that what it was called? Who's
poo? Yeah.
I think it's there. I think that's the stage there.
I think everyone's the one we're on about.
I think as well. I could be wrong, but from another vlogger, Adam and Craig do stuff. I'm sure Steps performed there as well, unless I got the wrong place. But I don't know. There was somewhere where they had like a live thing, and that was near sort of like an animal park. But yeah, I'll double check with them.
I do think they've done things in the past.
Yeah, so I was just like.
So like our vlog's coming up after this show actually, but like our vlog when we went to where was it?
Twycross, Hamilton.
Was it Hamilton with the? No, it was Peak Wildlife Park, and the tapirs were inside, didn't want to be seen, and it seemed like the tapirs were away again. Didn't want to be seen at this show either, so we kind of saw them. But
to be fair, it was a bit of a windy day as well, but it was all good.
What I want to know,
It was
right,
very windy.
is how come you can have whose poo is it in a zoo place? But I was up our local town. I did exactly the same yesterday. I've only got arrested for it. It's not fair.
Did you vlog?
A POV.
So yeah, I'm going to talk about the slide because, well, actually,
I'll just to break up a bit. I'll just say hello to everyone that's just turned up on our channel as well. So,
Donna and Ginger and Brown.
Ginger and Brown, Matt from Breaking Trails, Knox survives. Well done. Donna from Sussex as well. Well done, because you just keep saying hello to everyone. So thank you on our behalf as well.
I thought you meant you literally thought you survived something.
No, honestly, it's just awesome having the interaction with each other on the channel as well, so in the chat.
So
But,
jump
the
forward.
loops and donuts. Hello.
Because I put a link directly to Joe and Ben's vlogs of the day as well, because they're already up in the description. But Ben, you did a POV of this, what I can only describe as a death slide, but not the kind of usual death slide.
Did we? Yeah.
Do you want to describe how stressful that slide was?
Well, It was quite brutal, actually. Yeah, I think we're just a bit too big for it, mate. It's not built for.
No, you managed to get in there because you had to get in
16
quite a
stone
small
adults, is it?
children's play area to get in there.
But
I think Ryan's reaction to it when he was going down said it all, really, to be honest with you.
yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. That's the funniest thing. I mean, I know I did the POV, but the bit where I was filming at the top, just listening to Ryan going down, it was hilarious. It's like, oh, jeez, yeah, it just bashed you off.
Followed with like this banging and crashing and this sort of like, yeah.
It seemed like they could have made it just so it went down in the curve, but instead it kind of goes round in a knot.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was the issue.
not the fact that you're an adult going down a kid's slide. That's not the issue.
Well, I think we were too long for it because the twists and turns were made for smaller people, so it was made so that somebody who's smaller could have took those turns a lot, less sharper. Whereas our bodies don't necessarily like twist,
Yeah,
so
I just don't think it's made for big fat old adults like us. Like I think it's made for skinny little kids that got loads of energy. And
well, no, to be fair, the supports didn't break, so it's all right. That would have been worse.
I mean,
Just poor profiling, mate. That was all.
It didn't stop Ryan from going up again and
get
coming
RMC on it.
back.
I've got a clip.
oh god,
I've got a clip of I think it's 4 clips. We're gonna watch it, and I want everyone to tell me which person looks the most drunk when they get off the slide. They'll just play them all.
God. How was it?
Rougher than Nero, that.
How was it?
I need some noise.
Yeah, it was shaking.
The movement of the slide.
Hey.
Oh, you feel it a lot more going backwards. You actually this is Nathaniel. Head first.
Oh my god.
Stop recording.
Every time. I'll send you that. Yeah.
It's like a Saturday.
I'll have to send you that clip, Ben, because you weren't filming at the time. But who looked the most drunk, do you think, when they came off it?
Nathaniel.
Definitely.
We've got some people in the comments. We've got Matt from Breaking Trails saying definitely Ben.
Oh, no.
Donna from Sussex, definitely Ryan. And then
I know, the last one.
Went,
He's changed his
that
mind.
last one.
Daniel. So what did you think of that slide, Nathaniel? Because you were actually of the age and size to go on it.
It was a bit painful, saying that I am tall, but it wasn't like really painful. It didn't sound as bad as Ryan made it sound.
Hey, you didn't go down backwards as an adult. My head took the brunt of most of that.
Yeah.
Is there a sign inside saying "Don't ride it backwards"? Or
Can we
No,
just-
there's not.
Can we just give Joe kudos as well, because he was actually the guinea pig that went on it first.
yeah, we did get a
Yeah,
photo.
I was going to say that. Joe did do it first.
Yeah, I did do it first.
What was your experience, Joe, compared to the other? Was it as bad as they've made out?
I think Ryan said it all, and I think he said it was rougher than Hero, personally. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I've never rode Hero, so
Yeah,
Oh,
you don't want to, trust me.
Don't.
I can't wait, to be honest.
They can go to say that it gets stuck, bless them.
So it's the headline, I guess. Whenever we go to an animal park, I don't know if everyone's the same. If there's an animal we've not seen before, or that's the only place in the UK you can see it, or one of the only places, that's kind of the one we definitely want to see when we go. Like when I saw that echidna at Hamilton.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk about the polar bears? Because it's quite a big thing.
No.
No?
Well, yeah, but yeah, somewhere in the universe there's me getting emotional. But yeah, the polar bears are just awesome. I'll let you explain more.
Well, if you watch Ben's vlog, I said they're not that great. I said that's why we're crying.
But no, it was. No, I think for me,
Polar bears.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, what polar bears?
I just love polar bears. There's more than polar bears.
I haven't got the
to me in
photo,
general.
I remember James and Sarah saying what I was thinking when they've got a massive sign for the keeper saying, "Have you counted the bears? Are all the gates locked?" And I'm like, "Oh God." Because we got told there were 8 at the start of the day by someone in the shop, and we're counting there's 2 missing. And at first we're like,
Oh gosh.
Oh dear.
I love how there's like that house estate right behind one of the polar bears enclosures. And you can just imagine waking up in the morning, can't you, just with the polar bear in your garden, phone the zoo up again.
Lock your windows and doors.
Yeah.
He's quite subdued at the moment because he's got a bottle of Coca-Cola in his hand, so he's okay. But
he had a whole cooler full of it. If you watch
a scarf round him.
Joe's vlog, they're pushing the cooler along, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. One of them was like proper like shoving it around as well. It's having a whale of a time with it.
But this ties in quite nicely, Joe. I don't know if you want. I've got one more photo here. Do you want to explain what's going on here?
So basically, so they've got the polar bears on one side, and then they've got Doncaster's sewerage site on the opposite side of the path. I mean, you don't get much more of a stark contrast than that. You can see polar bears on one side, and then you can see Doncaster's last night's tea on the other. I mean, it's, you know.
You literally just turned around, didn't you, Joe? You just turned around 180 degrees and literally was there and there.
Quite literally, yeah, like span around. I'm like, why the hell is there a sewage plant next to a wildlife park?
Me and Ryan were looking at it, trying to realising what it was. And then Stacey's like, why are you looking that way? The polar bears are behind you.
Yeah, but I was like half tearing, going, why are you looking at these polar bears? Why are you
Nathaniel said it was like Jump Showdown from Fall Guys. This is why they got Jump Showdown from Fall Guys over here.
It's so they can easily play whose poo is it.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to do
a bit out of
it. They're never at home to know what it is. I can't tell them. But we've got to do that.
It was who was in the wrong end of the park, obviously.
Yes.
So what other animals? You like the red panda?
The red pandas look cool. They were just balancing on the trees when we first saw them, and I couldn't help but love the I don't know, just the redness of their fur is just lovely.
Does anyone here prefer?
It's like a deep red.
It's a very similar animal, so I'm going to say it. Does anyone here prefer the lemurs to the red panda?
Oh, lemurs, yeah.
Much
more interesting.
Yeah,
the lemurs the lemurs are fun.
Oh,
definitely.
I didn't think anyone would say that.
Yeah,
I think the red panda's more chilled, isn't it? It doesn't do as much. A lemur,
lemurs
a bit more active.
Red pandas just sleep.
Yeah.
King Julian, need I say more?
I was going to say,
that literally, that's all I can think.
I've got a snippet later on in our vlog that's going live at 8:05 of Joe doing his King Julian impression.
I was really gutted
out in mine because I thought it might kind of come off a little bit on the racist side, really, because I kind of did like a Jamaican accent at the end. I thought, yeah, that's really not going to look great, is it? But
I wasn't King Julian's accent, mate. It wasn't racist. It's always fine.
Well, it's in there anyway.
I wasn't sure, Joe, if we were going to have Johnny Vegas on tonight, all night as well.
Johnny Vegas!
Yeah.
Okay.
We appreciate that, yeah. Johnny
The
Vegas.
audio went on my footage then, so I didn't have that audio of Joe because I was desperate to put that bit in, but there was no audio.
Which bit? The Johnny Vegas or the?
No, the King Julian bit.
I only used a bit of it because I didn't want to use a lot because I thought he might use it in his vlog.
Yeah,
I did.
So is that
dancing and all that? Yeah.
Had any of you walked with lemurs before? Because when we're there, it's painting for everyone at home. You can just walk in the enclosure with them, and they don't really go near you anyway. But had anyone done that before?
No.
I did the one at Flamingo Land.
What?
didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What, we went
Yes, I
into an enclosure?
Yeah, the lemur.
There are wallabies out there.
Are they? I don't know, but you can walk
No,
on
West-
whiskies at
no.
Flamingo Land.
They have
West
got a
Midlands
lemur
has got
walk through there
lemur
as well,
woods
yeah.
around the back.
Yeah.
See them, can't you?
The
I've heard
best
you
one is it's South Lakes Wildlife Park. I don't think it's called that anymore. I think it's called Cumbria Zoo or something. But South Lakes,
That's
South
awesome.
Lakes, that's an awesome one. And the lemurs will come up to you and touch you, and it's fantastic.
Oh.
So when we went to Peak Wildlife Park, they started fighting
Yeah.
each other.
There
I was just like, I don't want them to come near me.
Then they kind
This
of
big
like,
old red one,
yeah. They
just
kind of
ripping
like,
into each other.
and then some of the lemurs would, when they weren't being fed, they're all just like laid on the floor. But it was quite a hot day, to be fair, as well.
The lemurs at in Cumbria at the Lake District ones, the keepers used to have big super soakers, And if they started getting too close to like roofs of stuff where they could jump over, they'd like super soak them. Awesome.
Get down.
And the lemurs are so clever, so they know that mums with buggies, babies have got food in, so they'd all just like jump on the buggies and go raiding the buggies for food.
Yeah, they're not stupid, are they?
No. Awesome.
They don't have a sign saying "Don't take your buggy in," or
no, at your own risk, take your buggy in.
I think at West Midlands you can't take your buggy in there because I think there's a sign saying they might try and sneak out, like get inside the bottom of the buggy.
Just take it home. That's not my kid.
So yeah, you're not allowed to take them in there.
I'm going to ask a question in the same vein.
Are they hanging onto the bottom of the buggy?
I thought they'd be in it under the blanket, like the kids.
Put a dummy in.
Ryan, you haven't zoomed in and out recently, mate. I missed
Yeah,
yeah.
Ryan's had 4 cans of Monster before the show and a Peppa Pig cracker cake.
I've not had 4 cans of Monster, don't worry. I'm not going to have a heart attack, I think.
See, all you need is the Themeatically music with that zoom in and out noise as well. That'd be awesome, mate.
The Oblivion keyline music. Do.
I wish it zoomed in slowly. It zooms in really fast, doesn't it? It doesn't have that dramatic effect. When you're recording it zooms in slowly.
Do you think... Actually, I just want to say this quickly. I don't know the character's name, but just because of the beard and everything, you look a bit like the old character that used to be on most of the Chessington rides.
No.
I don't know if anyone's ever seen him. They used to have his parts of his body in the vampire queue line still, but he got... Because the Chester used to kind of theme their rides, the adventures of this guy, some of their rides.
I'm going to have to Google that now.
Was it Mr. Bubbleworth? No, it wasn't Mr. Bubbleworth.
I'm sure it was a guy with a black beard.
Oh, we'll have to have a look at that.
Wasn't called Black.
I was going to ask about
if
meerkats, because I think meerkats... Do you think they've... Because they were a big thing, like, about 10 years ago, maybe more, and now it seems like they look nice, but it's almost like, yeah, I'm bored of that now. I don't know how everyone else feels. What do you think, Ben?
Oh, about meerkat.
Yeah. I like meerkats. I love them. I think they're cool.
I think they're all just too busy comparing the market nowadays, aren't they? So.
Yeah.
What's working for Sergey?
Yeah, I
Sergey! I'm busy,
meerkats are just boring, aren't they? It's just like...
That's what I thought. It's kind of like... now it's apart from Matlock Farm Park, because you can feed them and you don't have to pay to do it. It's not an extra upcharge. But also...
That reminds me, when I was at Flamingo Land, this kid had like a packet. I forgot what it was now. It was like some sweets for some variety. And he was just there tossing sweets over to the meerkats on the other side. And the meerkats were there. They were loving it. But he just kept tossing these sweets until his mum told him to stop.
Am I allowed to say what you said?
5 minutes.
Am I allowed to say what you said when we were there, Ryan? I cut it out of my vlog because I was like, I don't want to put it in my vlog, so it's not in my vlog.
Oh, about meerkats.
Yeah, about meerkats. Do you remember what you said? Am I allowed to say it?
What did I say about meerkats?
You said,
I'm stealing
you
one.
can just steal one of these.
You could jump over the wall and steal one, put it in your backpack, and go home with it.
But now you mention it again. I've got it in my vlog later on. But, you can see footprints where it looks like children have jumped over. They look like children's shoes footprints.
Do you know, wouldn't it be ace now if Ryan moved to the side and there's a meerkat just there going, hello?
Yeah, took it from Yorkshire Wildlife Park.
Yeah.
So does Flamingo Land doesn't actually have flamingos?
I just noticed that.
No, they do. They actually do. They're not very sort of easy to find. That's the problem. It's kind of like an area up near where the penguins are, and if you don't walk right to the penguins and walk left instead, kind of walk down to where the kangaroos are at the far end, literally just before that, your left-hand side, but they're kind of sort of down in the bottom. So unless you're specifically looking down for them, you're not going to see them, which is a bit stupid, really, considering that it is called Flamingo Land. So there are flamingos.
Just curious, has anyone in the chat actually been to Flamingo Land? It's really weird because I've like to say that I lived near
I think we
to
will
it.
go this year.
Never
but...
been.
Yeah, we're definitely going this year.
You guys need to let me know when you do, because I'm coming up to join you.
Yeah.
I was actually going to buy a Flamingo Land season pass this year until I saw that they were like £190. And I was like, no.
That's like price.
They're too expensive, to be honest with you. They really are. Far too expensive.
I got my Pleasure Beach pass at 90.
You can illegally import a flamingo for less than that.
You probably can.
Buy a flamingo for less than that.
That is ridiculous.
I'm trying to think. Like they had them at Hamerton Zoo, didn't they? Hamerton
What's that?
flamingos.
Yeah, I was going to say,
beautiful
I don't know if
photo.
it's fair for me to say they weren't really looked after, but they weren't pink, they were more white.
Yeah,
but then they might have just fed them
didn't look like
different
they had
stuff.
enough salmon. Yeah, they didn't look like they had enough salmon to be.
But it
pink.
broke the illusion, because for that and the anteater, anyone who's not been to Hamerton Zoo, spoiler alert, they've just got like a normal garden fence along the back of the enclosure and a house.
Just a couple of houses.
So it's just
yeah.
like, they literally just like build it behind the street.
But the anteater's
anteater's like a bear,
huge.
yeah.
It's like it's bigger than what I thought it would be. It's like bigger than a double bed. Like,
I don't know how placid they are.
I
didn't
can't
wanna-
explain
didn't wanna
it.
go in a minute.
Pardon?
I don't know how placid they are, but it's like the size of a bear.
No, but it looked, yeah. It was
If
quite
you
impressive.
if you manage to get to SeaWorld before they get rid of all the animals, they actually walk the flamingos through the crowd. So they take their flamingos and walk them down the pathways while the people are in. That's always impressive.
Wouldn't they bite people?
No, they don't. No.
You just break the legs if they do.
Yes, go.
Drop kick a flamingo.
Just while we're talking, what's
10 points.
Have you done any? I wouldn't say extreme, but because you're well travelled, I'd say. Have you done more? What's kind of like your favourite walkthrough or cageless thing you've done with an animal? I guess.
We've done a sleepover in SeaWorld where we slept underneath where the shark bit is. That was quite cool. Because obviously they were kind of swimming over you all the time. I'm trying to think now.
I've done swimming with the sharks.
Yeah, I haven't, because I can't catch my breath in the water. It takes me about an hour just to try and acclimatise, and then it's just like, no, out now. It's like, okay.
It's quite hard to breathe on the apparatus. I've never done it.
As long as you're calm. If you can stay calm, it's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. And you don't have to have any scuba diving experience at all.
Yeah, I think we haven't done like too many walks, have we? But the lemur ones.
I've kissed a walrus.
Not me. Not referring to me.
Kissed a walrus.
Is that safe?
Pardon?
Is that safe? They're quite big animals, aren't they?
They are massive animals. Huge. But very cute. Walruses are amazing.
Yeah, stroke to crocodile.
Alligator.
Yeah, that's like it, isn't it?
Penguins.
Mm. Yeah, there's nothing extreme, is there? On there, not yet, anyway. Unless chickens, cockerel. We used to have a cockerel. Fantastic! It will come and attack you all the time. It was awesome.
Yeah, because you've got quite a lot of animals yourself, haven't you?
We're getting through them at the moment. We've only got a couple of pigs, a goat, cats, and a dog at the moment. But we used to have turkey, chickens, ducks.
Yeah.
Don't go around Christmas time.
Yeah. And then you used to have lizards and snakes and whatever, didn't you? So, we're down. The stock level's down at the moment.
Yeah. We've got a llama and a donkey behind us.
Yeah, the llama's got a llama and a donkey that just keep wandering up and down. And we want the llama to come in and join us, and then we'll kind of build the fence up dead quick so it can't get out. But it hasn't done that yet.
No.
Is the llama the one that spits, or is that the other one?
Llama's like alpaca, but it's a bit taller.
Yeah.
Like
Is it alpacas that spit? I think, isn't it?
yeah, but
Or do
llamas
they-
can as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Where I work.
The walk through animal enclosures reminds me of that one ride at Popsaland where there's like donkeys in front of this tractor ride. Like there's donkeys and sheep in the same ride area as like this tractor ride, and it's really, really weird. It, like at one stage, like it feels like you're gonna hit animals until they move out the way, like they're forcefully moved out the way.
Didn't you tell me that the sheep stood in front of it? You were telling me about this.
Yes. So the sheep's actually stood in front of it until the ride vehicle got to a certain like distance, and then they moved away. They must have been hit by it before. But I'm sure there's like sensors which would
I
stop
thought you
it
said
if
they
it
got
didn't
hit
feel
by
like
it when
risky.
you were on it. I thought you said you'd seen them get hit by it.
Oh no, I've not seen them get hit by it, but I presume they have been hit by it.
Sheep are stupid, though.
Yeah.
They are fundamentally stupid. Sheep
They are.
Yeah. They really are. Aren't they the ones that roll over, and then if you roll over, they're dead?
They just die. They give up. They roll over onto the backs and then die.
So if you do see a sheep on its back, you are supposed to go
You're
and help
supposed to
it.
tip it over, tip it back up, because otherwise it just dies.
I think I've heard that before.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
I've just got to let the cat in, speaking about
So Ryan, what was your
That's
favourite animal
actually what we're
from
doing in the background.
Yorkshire Wildlife Park, Ryan?
Oh, my favourite animal.
That we saw on the
There's
day.
so
'Cause some of them
many.
we didn't see.
Yeah, I mean, the lemurs are definitely up there for me. The lemurs were great, and to see the keeper come in and feed them a little bit was really, really good. I really like the lions. I really like how big the enclosures were. In fact, that's something that really impressed me about the park in general. The enclosures were massive, and they crossed over paths, cross underpaths, sorry, and all sorts. So the animals had plenty of space to roam around in. And with zoos, traditionally, you'll find that the animals are really, really miserable. That wasn't the case at Yorkshire Wildlife Park.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
you said you enjoyed the
definitely
lions,
okay.
but when we went to the lions, I thought there wasn't much going on.
Oh yeah, that one looked like it was dead.
That's like
They
the
were just
opposite.
laying there.
Yeah, some of them were just lying around, weren't they?
Yeah, the proper
was
lazing
like-
around.
Yeah, I missed that already, Joe. I missed that already, mate.
Joe's one line.
Back there we are.
Spoiler alert, there is a bit on my vlog coming up later tonight where it's just a normal warning sign that I've never seen before, so I had to put it in. It says lions are dangerous.
Yeah.
You think?
Let me go and find out.
Climb in there and cuddle and see what happens, you know.
But Joe had a lot of puns for the lions, didn't you, Joe?
I did. I can't. You see, that's the thing, isn't it? Like when you're not put on the spot, then yeah. But I think that they were definitely the main event now, as they say. You know?
See, you can still come up with them, mate.
Yeah, I clawed it back eventually, but there we are. It was a bit of
Has he got this written down? He's got them on his arm. Ben, what was
what written
Nathaniel's
down?
favourite animal?
The monkey.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I have to explain.
Okay.
I was stood next to Ben, and then Joe was stood next to me. And as soon as that happened, me and Joe kind of stopped recording and moved away. And Ben just kind of got his GoPro and was like, "I'm in there."
You didn't move away, mate.
Oh, you got another. You've been trumped there, Joe.
Joe
Just
with his
one-liners.
one-liners.
Yeah,
Love
it.
Cheers, dude.
I mean, what I quite liked about the whole thing, it was very big and spacious. The animals were all happy because they had their own space to move around freely in those areas that they were put in. And it was the fact that obviously it was all right for people that are like wheelchair users as well. I thought I'd mention this as well because I know quite a few people that follow me that have mobility problems as well. And to be honest, it's absolutely lovely. You can get there on a wheelchair, even to the big wheel that was there. You can access that as well. So, yeah.
I'll talk about the big wheel in a bit, but I just want to say, I'll have to look this
I kind of
up.
pushed on a bit there. But
Is that the longest bridge at a zoo or wildlife park, at least in this country? For anyone who's not been, after you see the first few enclosures, there's a massive bridge, half a mile long, and then you go to the rest of the park, and it's just really odd. I thought.
A massive. Oh yeah, the big bridge.
Yeah, with the tiger.
You don't like bridges, do you, Ryan? I didn't know this.
Well, no, I see, because I don't mind if they're high. I don't mind if they're low, but that was quite high. But yeah, it was. I'm not great with things that you can see down and you can see between the floorboards and
You
stuff.
went on the big wheel though.
Yeah, I did. I didn't like it.
See, those jokes are coming in still. That's
Matt, the main stage.
We've started something now, I think. Have you got any, James, before everyone else brings them in?
No, not at the moment. I've been trying to think of them, but Joe beats me to them. So it's he's done the main one, hasn't he? So I can't do that one again.
I quite enjoyed the sea lions because they were. Sorry, go on.
What was that, Joe?
Sorry.
I quite enjoyed the sea lions because I quite enjoyed dubbing a voiceover over those guys. You could almost imagine what they were thinking or saying. They turned out to be English gentlemen. That was quite fun.
I think your best stuff was the Johnny Vegas stuff.
Yeah, to be fair, I do quite enjoy doing that one actually. I do quite know. Yeah, I like doing Johnny Vegas. It's fun.
Can we have any Johnny Vegas tonight, or
Sorry?
can we have a bit of Johnny Vegas now, or?
Oh, go on then. Might as well, monkey. Eh? You have to get a nice brew from cup of tea.
I have got some Johnny Vegas in my vlog, but I didn't want to use too much because that was your thing, and I thought you would have saved that for your vlog.
I did a few bits in, but yeah.
But I have got another video. It's just of what you filmed, some of the stuff you filmed on the big wheel. It shows the hive, which is like their version of the Olympic Village, I assume. It's just, well, you're going to see it. Let's put it out.
Here, guys, is Yorkshire Wildlife Park, and this little bit down here is called the Hive. That's where all the shopping centres are.
I think it's quite nice.
We've even got a little dinky hotel.
No, you don't appreciate, do you, when you're down there, though? But it is like a hive shape.
It is. Really?
My camera skills there.
So you went on with Sarah. Sarah, what was the wheel like for you?
It was good while it was moving, but when it stopped at the top to load other people on at the bottom, and it started to sway, that was not my favourite time.
I hated that.
Yeah, it was not a good time.
As well.
I'm surprised you went on it, Ryan, because you were like terrified of heights anyway, and then.
Hey, my parents are watching. It wasn't my fault I went on it. It was their fault. They forced me on it. They bought the tickets for it. I had a chance to say no. They were like, "Oh, we got you a ticket now. Oh, you're going on." Great.
I'm so angry.
I think they also said you had your eyes closed the whole time, Ryan, as well.
Oh, I didn't have. Well, let's be fair. I was trying to distract myself from what was going on. I was in denial.
Did you do any
Top
singing?
swinging from back to forth.
I thought you said the big wheel, not a river.
Sorry.
I said I thought you were on the big wheel, not in a river called Denial.
Oh.
The jokes are still coming in.
Brilliant.
So you're going to get them back at some point, Ryan?
Yes, I will. I'm going to Energy Dandy on my dad in April, so I'm going to get him back somehow.
Oh, there's that good top spin there.
Oh yes, there is. It's a great top spin, isn't it?
Ryan's like, I don't want to ride that.
I don't want to ride that. I got forced on it anyway.
Matt from Breaking Trails, was it really good?
Oh.
It was really good.
It didn't actually look that high from up there, though, did it? From the video, it didn't.
It did go quite high, I thought, but then again, I'm a thing with heights as well, so.
I think
It
it
looks
was
higher
more
from the
worrying.
ground when you're up there, to be honest.
Yeah, it was more worrying when you got up there and it was swinging about and you're thinking, oh God, what if it breaks now? What's the evacuation procedure? And then you get off and you can see what the evacuation procedure is, and you're like,
yeah,
God.
This is your final destination.
You all seemed in good spirits, because, spoiler alert, for anyone who's going to watch the vlog after this, there is a section of you guys at the top and Joe and his family in the next car when it stopped. There's quite a lot of fun antics going on. Look like you're all having a good time.
I was both yelling because there was a gap at the top of each.
All right, good laugh.
Hello there, how are you doing?
Hello. I can see you. See pub from here.
Oh, so I can see Skeggy.
See my ass.
Oh, there you go, Ryan. Would you go on the London Eye?
I do have plans to this year. I went on the big wheel at Vina Prater. I know the London Eye is like 450 feet or whatever, and Vina Prater one is only like 200. But I'll have to do it just for the memes.
To be fair, you get some cracking views from the top, though. You really do. Really good.
Is that
views.
permission for us to make memes from the content?
Yes. If I do a vlog for it, feel free to tear it down and.
I wouldn't say that. Everyone listening's going to jump in on it as well.
Would you say big wheels are credit?
Is if you want a Ferris count.
Ah, okay. I was just curious as to would it be a credit, but what time?
It depends what you're counting. The best thing to do. I used to count dark rides because no one from ECC is going to watch this, but basically they do coaster counts in the front pages. So every issue, if you send in a photo of holding 100 in front of the thing, I did get in touch and go, I've almost reached the milestone number of dark rides. Could I get in? And they're like, yeah. So I think they need content, but
Yeah.
you can count whatever you want these days.
Very interesting.
What did you think of the plastic animals?
The what?
The dinosaurs.
Yeah, the dinosaurs. Yeah.
How did you like that?
Ben, what did you think of the dinosaurs?
Yeah, they were good. They were really good. The animation was great on them, wasn't it? Loads of different moving parts on them. They had all the audio with them. Yeah, I thought they were fantastic. Really well presented as well. So.
What did Nathaniel think? Because he was having quite a lot of fun with one.
It was really good. The dinosaurs were less battered up than Yorkshire Wildlife. No, not that one. East Midlands, sorry.
West Midlands.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying the actual animals were battered to
West
death.
Midlands, yeah. They're less.
Yeah, West Midlands have got dinosaurs, haven't they? And they've just let them go. Like, they've just weathered and. Certainly, the last time we went, I mean, I haven't been for over a year now, but last time we went, it was in a bit of a poor state, to be honest. It was a shame because it was a really good walkthrough that was before. But so yeah, it was nice to see that. Hopefully, they keep maintain them and keep it in good shape. But it looked really new. I don't know if it was new for this year or.
I think it's been there for a couple of years, to be honest. But again, they've kept them in immaculate condition.
Yeah, they were. It looked brand new, didn't it? It looked like a new area to me. So yeah. I was really.
There was one in particular that Nathaniel was enjoying that had a certain effect on it.
Which one?
It was the one that squirted the water out of his mouth.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
No, I don't know what type of dinosaur it was.
It might have been a Dilophosaurus. Is that how you pronounce it? Dilophosaurus?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's the one from Jurassic Park, in it, where they've got those things on the side of the face, and it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Zoom in while you're doing that, Ryan.
Oh wait.
Make it slow, number one. Can you do the noise?
What noise are they made?
Just go.
What has this turned into?
So for anyone at home who needs information on it, I'll let Joe start. Oh, no, actually, Joe didn't eat there, did he? I'll let Sarah and James start. What did you think of the place we had lunch?
So I actually thought it was good value for money. I definitely think the cheeseburger was better than the chicken burger that I had from quantity point of view. And obviously, when I asked for Vimto and got Fanta, that threw me, but my Fanta was nice. So, but yeah, it was nice. I mean, considering where we were, I think it was about £8.50 for the meal.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all, was it? Considering you're inside a park basically where they could charge a lot more. But yeah, the chips were nice. The chicken burger was nice, but I always like more. And the drink was good. Oh, and I had a coffee at the end as we were all walking out. When Joe and Callie went to that Evolution, we went to the coffee shop and they did a really nice flat white as well. I was impressed.
Oh, it was still open?
Yes, it was still, luckily it was still open. And as well as the flat white, I had a cronut. So it was like one of those filled cronut things. That was really nice. But as I was driving, it just went all over me. I just had like this face full of cream and whatever, lemon meringue. But it was still nice. So
You're not meant to eat it while you're driving.
Of course. Good point. I was not driving. But yeah,
the coffee was nice from there, to be fair. Really nice.
It was nice coffee. Yeah, we had one in the morning, didn't we? It was
good. It was nice.
Yeah.
I like my tea. Sorry, but I like my tea. But it was nice.
I think we all sort of agree on how decent it was. But another thing I thought, because you get annual pass discount there, but do any of you actually see any point in a zoo having an annual pass? Because they don't really change that often. There's not really. I don't know. I don't know if you'd agree with me on that.
I think once you've seen it really, aren't you? That's the thing.
I think it depends how interested in animals you are. For me, I could go to a zoo every week and enjoy this because I like animals. But if you've not got any interest in animals, once you've seen a lion, you've seen a lion, you've seen a tiger, you've seen it.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on you and what your interests are.
So I would not have an annual pass, and Sarah would.
Yeah.
If I was going to get an annual pass to a zoo, I'd get one to Drayton Manor. Well, I have got one to Drayton Manor, but like a place that has the both, you know, the rides and the zoo.
See, Drayton Manor for me isn't a proper zoo because because it doesn't dedicate itself to being entirely a zoo. Then it falls short of other zoos. There are far better zoos in the country than Drayton Manor, but
I think they've sort of tried to brand themselves as both, though. Like you've got the theme park and then you've got the zoo. I know it's like like a ticket, one ticket, but they've branded it as the theme park and then the zoo. Like, but they're bolted on together. It's quite weird, but
yeah, same as Chessington, isn't it? You know, the zoo is not great. It's not got.
Oh no, that's not a proper zoo.
So you know,
Chessington's not a zoo. Well, it is and it isn't.
It is technically a zoo. It is part of BRZOO, which is the British and Irish Association of Zoos. So it is technically a zoo, but it's not a great zoo.
I think Flamingo Lands is pretty standout, to be honest, in terms of what they've got and the space they've got up there as well, and just how much is on offer. You could literally spend a full day in that zoo and still not have the time to ride the rides because there is literally that much. So it is very. If you haven't checked it out, it's definitely worth checking out. You can spend a full day looking around there.
Yeah, we'll have to get there, won't we?
Yeah, it's really
I
good.
agree. That's one thing that I was going to say. Like, the Flamingo Land Zoo and Yorkshire Wildlife Park contrast really well because both of their enclosures that they've got, like in terms of like where the animals are and stuff, they're all big, they're all massive. Both parks have massive animal enclosures.
Yeah, definitely, they do, and they're huge. And the ones at Flamingo Land as well are pretty decent size. They've got loads of room to run around, and very, very well designed as well. It's like you said that they're kind of on par. Very well done.
I quite like that, Sibby Vlogs. UK could do with a Busch Gardens kind of park. Flamingo Land and Chessington have the right idea, but it would be done a lot better though.
I think Flamingo Land's probably the closest we get round.
In fact,
RMC.
Funny Ryan mentions that because, well, I suppose I was going to say two things. I suppose you can't give animals too much space because I was going to say some of them are really massive, almost to their detriment. But also, compared to like Twycross, the amount of space the giraffes have got, it doesn't seem that big.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. The giraffe enclosure was quite small, wasn't it, compared to the space that the other. But I don't know if they let the giraffes out into the adjacent enclosure.
I think there was signs up, weren't there, saying the giraffes are not crossing today, or there's something of not crossing today. So I think they must. Yeah,
I think so. Because the cheetah thing enclosure was opposite, wasn't it? So as you walked between the giraffes and the cheetahs, on the left-hand side there was another really big open enclosure, and I think the giraffes probably go in there. That was like the Africa zone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They probably do go in there at some point.
Do you think it's because it was quite high winds when we went, and I don't want to make a comedy thing out of it, but because they're quite tall and very thin stature, they might have a giraffe all over.
I genuinely wish that is true.
You can laugh at me for that, but maybe that's why.
Now you said that, I now want to go and put surfboards on a giraffe that way round just to see them in wind with surfboards.
I mean, they could tell you which direction the wind's coming from, couldn't they? You know, the heads are high enough, so.
They just need a parachute at the back of them, that's it, and then they're gone.
And they're off.
With the winds. Because even the little one that was stood there when me and Ryan went ahead with Hollie, and you guys stayed to look at the monkeys, there was a little like baby giraffe there trying to feed. And I was so happy to be like filming it and taking pictures, and the foliage it was getting out of the tree that was hanging, it just all came my way. But even then, when the wind blew, it kind of turned to the side thinking, whoa. And then kind of stopped thinking, oh, it's windy. And then kind of slowly, casually walked away and back in again in the sort of like massive shed or whatever. But yeah.
Have Have you ever seen a giraffe run? It's the most comical thing ever. It's like they're running in slow motion. It's
Don't
so
they do
bizarre.
like giraffe racing in Asia?
I don't know, you know.
I'm sure I've seen something like that, and they kind of run like
It's
this.
genuinely the most comical thing ever. It really is.
Yeah, I have to Google it now. Giraffe racing.
And
One
now
talk about
Ben,
giraffe enclosure was I don't know if Ben wants to say because it was in his vlog. It's not in my vlog. Do you want to mention the height? You can check your height on the wall.
Oh yeah, they did. They'd stuck a height chart up. They'd started it off like 4 inches off the ground, so above the skirting board. Just really falling.
And you wasn't even reaching 6 feet.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole theme park thing, though, I think it's quite good, though, the fact that different parks have got like a place where you can go away and recharge. Like Alton Towers has the gardens, Chessington has the animals that you can go look at, and at least it's like a sort of quiet place away from rides as well.
Yeah, but,
but having that variety, obviously depends on if it affects the budget or not. So I just thought it's quite a nice, interesting thing. But
I'm going to mute my mic just because of the dog. 1 second.
Oh, bless you.
Ryan, do you think, in a way, zoos can be detrimental to theme parks because they're taken away from the budget?
Yes, I mean, we've seen that with Flamingo Land. I mean, during the pandemic, Flamingo Land struggles. They really, Joe can back me up on this. They struggled, and I feel like the zoo definitely didn't help things because they've got such a big zoo with so many animals. They just weren't getting a revenue stream, and like you say, they struggled because of it. I feel like Drayton Manor, a park that had the funds to back it up. I mean, I think Drayton Manor, the way they do it is they have a separate pot of cash for the zoo, if that makes sense. Again, the theme park and the zoo are separate. But I do think in a way that is the case. But I feel like it's more to offer. So if you have more to offer, more people are going to come. But I do see, in Flamingo Land's case, it was poor. It was poor.
Yeah, they had to take out quite a sizable grant or loan to actually get themselves back on track. And obviously that's going to be something now that's going to affect them for quite a long time. But unfortunately, there was no way to kind of turn off that side of the business when you've got animals to feed and veterinary bills to pay. So it's one of them, really, isn't it? It's just trying to get it right. And I think, some parks definitely do it better than others.
I believe I felt like Drayton Manor Zoo was an actual zoo, though. Seems to, I don't know, something about it. It just seems a bit hodgepodge. I don't know if people would agree with that or whether I'm slating them too much for that.
I think it's on its as its own entity. If you were to break the park up between the theme park and the zoo, and you were to make the zoo its own thing, a separate gate, I don't think it would be worth it. But because the two are together, I definitely think it is. They've got a good selection of animals. I mean, the zoo is, I think it's bigger than the theme park, actually. So you've got a decent amount there to go and look at, and the animals are well kept. But I do see what you mean.
I need to go back. I need to go back around the zoo next time I go down, to be honest, because you kind of go down. It's very easy to forget that the zoo is there when there is so many rides there. I think that's half the issue. It's kind of making time to go and check out both, and I think the only way you can do that is if you got more than one day. So
maybe they kind of like expect you to stay a weekend there. Then maybe it's trying to get more money in that way as well. Like because they have so much.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why they now brand themselves as a resort. I mean, if what they've got coming down the pipeline doesn't make that apparent already, they've got obviously got the zoo, got Thomas Land, which they brand as its own entity. It's not technically not part of the theme park even. It's its own thing. It's just not ticketed separately, and you've got the theme park. So it is a fully fledged resort with a hotel, so you could spend multiple nights there.
Ryan, do you know, did the zoo come before the theme park?
I think the zoo did come before the theme park.
Yeah. Because that's generally what happens, isn't it? They open as a zoo and then put a few rides in, and then that does well. Because I don't know, you're probably all not old enough to remember, but can you remember when they had seals and sea lions on Alton Towers front lawn? Yeah. And that was an awful enclosure, but yeah.
I've not physically seen it myself, but I do remember it on adverts and things.
What did Sarah and James think about Greater Manor Zoo?
I don't like it, but I don't like zoos and theme parks because I think it attracts a different sort of crowd that look at the animals differently. I'm not explaining it very well, but if you go to a zoo for a zoo, you're generally a little bit more.
You're there for the
animals. Whereas if you go in as part of a theme park day, and this is only my experience of this, of being and looking around, I've seen guests throwing theme park mats in at the animals and them eat, throwing all kinds of food in. And for me, who is a big animal lover and zoo advocate, drives me insane.
And I can't remember actually Greater Manor theme park or zoo, so I couldn't comment. I'm sure I've been.
I mean, to be fair, what's going through people's heads to think that that's okay to do that in the first place, though?
Mate, we think it's
I was
bad in
thinking
this
that.
country,
You know,
it's even worse in France.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, in France, I remember we were on holiday there, and we were just in a town, and they actually had a circus there, and part of the circus was live animals. Okay, if that's what they want. But then when the live animals are in old-style cages being towed through the town, and I'm on about lions and tigers, lions in one cage, tigers in the next cage.
And a cage just big enough for them to lie.
And he's
literally
just...
lying down.
That's disgusting.
That's wrong.
And then we went to Puy de Feuille, and really good theme park or themed park. And they've got a Roman amphitheatre part where they've got Christians and they've got Romans, and you kind of watching this go on, and you just think, okay, what's next? And then when the tigers come out, change, you think, one's expecting that, but so it's like just the attitude towards animals that we've seen over in Europe is miles apart from what we have over in this country. Hopefully,
I've witnessed that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah,
I think they're a lot more laxed over there, aren't they? Because you can keep tigers as pets in the US. I know that some states allow it, some don't, but just the lax attitude of wild animals over there is disgusting. I mean, over here we have a lot more rules and regulations. We can't own tigers as pets, for instance. So I think, you're not going to see those kind of private displays, but over there they can do what they want.
Yeah.
Can you get a capybara as a pet?
Yeah, you can do. You can
Not that I'm hinting anything there.
You can have a capybara, you just got to have shade for it and enough mud and water.
And don't get me started on these people that have guinea pigs.
Right, Dazza, West Midlands does have like a small, I wouldn't call it a theme park as such, but like it's better than a fairground. It's got quite a few rides, but yeah.
I mean,
we used to look at West Midlands. Oh, it's good. Good for young kids.
As we start to wind down, I don't know if Ben, do you want to tell us what your favourite part was from our day at the Yorkshire Wildlife Park?
Favourite part?
Or favourite animals, or?
Oh, definitely the polar bears, isn't it? It's all about the polar bears when you go there, I think.
I thought everyone's going to say that.
Yeah, but no, that just the whole day. The whole day was fantastic, to be honest. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed spending it with all you guys.
What was Holly's favourite animal that day?
Meerkat.
Said they were a favourite.
I forgot to say I can't remember if I said when we were talking about meerkats earlier. The placement of the meerkats at Peak Wildlife Park is exquisite because it's opposite the warthogs. So you've got to one of them.
Yeah.
Joe, was yours the polar bears, or did the what was opposite put you off?
No, I love the polar bears. I really did. I thought the fact there was two different enclosures as well. Sort of Project Polar 1 and 2. There was two separate areas, and obviously both offered different things for the polar bears. They all seemed very at home there. And most importantly, they didn't look kind of unhappy or anything like that. I think personally for me, though, I think the lemurs were probably one of the highlights of it because it was just so fun watching them, and obviously kind of joking around basically. I'd write a good laugh.
Ryan, Is it the polar bears for you?
Lion/lemurs for me.
Like, did you go and see the lions like really early before we got there, or did you just seem to be really sold in it? But from what we saw, there wasn't much going on.
I think it was a fact that they were so spread out and they had the ability to go anywhere basically, but they all just looked like they were having a good time.
Just chilling out.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
I'm just baffled that he's really. No, it's a fair point, but just we thought one of them was dead at one
They
point.
looked so chilled out. When you saw it.
You see, they were so happy.
They really were. A typical cat, really, isn't it? Like lazing in the sun or something.
And,
just on the lions, though, I think it's a good thing to point out that a lot of the animals at Yorkshire Wildlife Park are rescued. So they rescue them from. So the lions, for example, were rescued, I think, from a Russian zoo, and they were really badly treated and stuff. So,
yeah, and one of them had an amputated tail, because I said we'll look for the one that's named this. I think it was Simba that was the one that was with the amputated tail. So when they were lying down, I went, "Is that tail amputated?" Just so I knew which one was which, because they had a board with the names on. But
it's the same with the polar bears as well. They've rescued a lot of them, so it's not just a zoo where they've bred these captive animals and just kept them in there. They're actually giving them a better life, which is good. So
I forgot who told me this in this call, but I'm sure one of you told me that one of the polar bears that they rescued had come from a shopping centre in China, and they didn't want to pay for the polar bear, but they had to pay for it in the end to get it. To actually get it over here, but they didn't want to, contribute to the trade. But they had to rescue this poor polar bear. But it was kept in a wooden box, a small wooden box in a shopping centre.
Oh, my heart.
That was on our previous visit. Before, one of the keepers was telling us about one of the polar bears that they rescued. And it was just in a big shopping mall, just in like a really small box. It didn't have room to move, walk. But it was just a showpiece basically for this shopping mall. So they had to buy it.
See, so one of my favourite pieces was to do with the polar bears, where it was actually Stacey's reaction to the polar bears.
Yeah,
because that was real. That was you just really love seeing them.
I got real feels, honestly. Polar bears.
We like bears in general.
Even now, I'm starting to well up, but you have no idea how connected I am with bears in general.
She doesn't like guinea pigs anymore.
No. But even then, when I go to them because of my guinea pigs, I go, "Should we go see our little bears?" And
and we painted one of them white, but it was non-toxic paint, so it's fine.
I was about to say the only difference I would have done with the polar bears is put them through a car wash, make them clean. They were a bit grubby.
No, actually, their hair's not white; it's translucent, but it's the radiation from the sun.
Yeah. If I see a polar bear, I want absolute white polar bear. That's more like it.
I think just the fact that all the animals were so happy, and even though they seemed like they weren't doing a lot, like the lions were sleeping, that in itself is an indicator that that animal is happy because it feels confident, safe, happy enough to sleep.
Yeah,
exactly. I know it's not very interesting from a consumer perspective.
What was your favourite, Sarah?
I like the polar bears because I've only ever seen polar bears in captivity that are nuts. They rock their heads. They do stereotypical walking round and round. So to see polar bears behaving naturally and just doing their polar bear thing is
like
just
the background.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've only ever seen it in San Diego Zoo. Happy polar bears. Everywhere else, they've been nuts. Absolutely nuts. And that's so lovely to see animals behaving as they should, and we can do it, and we don't have to put them in a fake snow environment to do it. They can be looked after.
Do you think on the polar bears, if you threw a fox's glass of mint, they'd all try and stand on it though?
Yes.
Yeah. I was actually thinking, would they sell the mints in the shop? As we were going out, I was like, they haven't got the fox's mints actually. And I thought, no, that's just going to push it a bit too far. But...
So I've put everyone's links in the description. I've put Ben and Joe's links for their vlogs from the day. I'm just trying to wrap it up because our vlog's actually live on the channel in a couple of minutes. But what I am going to say is I went for something a bit funky with the name of it. But over the next few weeks, I'm going to have some guests on from the USA. So I've called it February USA. I'm going to have Zach and Ashley from A Nervous Trek on next week. And Ashley recently went to the opening for this season of Busch Gardens Williamsburg. and the Mardi Gras, which is actually held at the time of year Mardi Gras is held in this country.
Wow.
But yeah, stay on the channel, everyone, because there's going to be another video up in like 1 minute. But there's going to be loads of stuff from these guys, and there's going to be Johnny Vegas impression. What do you want to say?
Just want to say, give us the like, but also if you take part in the Love to Explore photography photograph challenge, the one for February is winter. So taking a picture of winter can be your own interpretation, but it's winter. So
and
there
you
go.
can't say the this week because I've got someone else to say it. So I'm going to leave you with this.
We'll see you in the rear view, because for now, we're gone.